Genothi Seutan, love, peace, blessing, all manner of abundance, goodness, healing, health, wealth, prosperity unto you. Something good is going to happen to you today. And wanted to ask you a personal question. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? And it's a very, very powerful question. It goes along with Genothi Seutan, know yourself. And as you begin to know yourself and you begin to observe your own thoughts and your own thinking and recognize, really, are you thinking thoughts that are supportive of your own best good? Are you thinking thoughts that are supportive of your own perfect, authentic self? And we always have to be careful with the words that we are using, because the word perfect implies something other than simply happily being who you are. Being perfect isn't to be compared with anybody else. It isn't putting you in any type of competition with anyone else. It isn't based on any world standard of achievement. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when worldly achievement is used to to make you think that somebody is better than somebody else, or somebody is worth more than somebody else, that's where the problem lies. And it's also where hero worship, the concept of the gods, the concept of the gods is very, very powerful psychological teaching, and can also help you recognize whose side you're on. Because with the gods, while they may have granted favors every once in a while, but most of the time they really just messed with everybody. I mean, they could be they could be your best friend today, and then tomorrow, they just decide to, burn down your house and, take away all of your crops, and, don't even want to mention what they, could do to people's children. I mean, it's, love-hate relationship without a doubt, but not real love. It's conditional. It's based on, worship. And so that's the real, if you want to really just sum it up in a nutshell, that's the real concept of the worship of the gods. In the beginning, the concept of a higher being representing an energy was simply in the form of teaching us to connect to positive energy and be able to channel positive energy, to receive positive energy, to soak up and absorb positive energy, and then to release positive energy into our lives and into the lives of those around us and all of the earth. And so when you recognize that there could have been a different mindset, those who worship the gods, just without any type of really thinking it through, would just mindlessly serve them no matter what they did to them. And that's not being on your own side. That's being on the side of an influence that is anti-human, that like the indigenous peoples teach, probably in fact absorb parasite energy, vampire energy off of humans through our suffering and negativity. There have been many reports from indigenous people and ancient architecture that portray a parasite species that feeds energetically off of human negative emotion. And there's some theories that say that these are, in fact, influences that are the cause of all of our pain and suffering, because that's what they feed off of, that's what they live off of. So one way or another, whether it's people who have risen to a place where they think they're better than everybody else, and everybody else is their servant, and they're the only people who are valuable in the world, everybody else is expendable. You can see this when you see the elite what they do is when they, it's amazing how when people, seem to accumulate a lot of riches, reach billionaire status, next thing they believe that, the earth has to be culled, cleansed, that the population has to be reduced. And if you think we're running out of room, all you have to do is just drive down just about any interstate, a few minutes outside of any city, any town, and you'll see there is so much uninhibited or undeveloped land just in the United States. There's plenty of room for everybody. The population isn't going to be a problem. It's just another excuse for, murderers to murder people. It's bottom line, that's what it is. People do have that murderous spirit, and that's what they desire to do. And they're looking for, the elite are looking for an excuse to do it, and have us all approve of it. So again, that's not being on our own side. And this isn't new. This is an ancient influence. The Apostle Paul wrote that we should pray for those who oppose themselves, that they would recover themselves out of the devil's snare. So that's how he put it. What happens is that there's a influence that is a snare. It comes from a negative parasitic influence entity that actually tricks us into turning against our own selves, to opposing ourselves. And you can find it when people think they don't deserve things. They think that they don't deserve to prosper, to be wealthy. And a lot of people even think that wealthy is a bad word. And to the point that it's able to be used in campaigning to such an amazing degree. It's like if you want to learn how to swim, who do you want to teach you? An Olympic swimmer or somebody who you saw just almost drowned a couple minutes ago? So if someone has their influence, either they, almost drowned according to their ways, or they cause the whole middle class to almost drown, when they had their shot at the wheel. You may ask yourselves, can you really trust anything that they say, or believe what they're saying, or, believe what they're saying that, they believe that we want to hear? Symbolism has always been a powerful, powerful method of control, because if a form of symbolism can be conveyed to, the majority, it's easy to control them. Think of, the word infidel. So, who says who's an infidel? Because one people believe a certain religious practice or discipline, do they have the right to call everybody else an infidel? But if you use the word infidel, or if you use the word sinner, or, and this was in Yeshua's day, Jesus' day, Apostle Paul's day, they would say, look, that person's a sinner, they're unclean, they're a sinner. Or, across the, other side of the city, they would say, that person's an infidel, they're the infidel, and people who, just blindly follow those influences, they sign up for the army and they go off to kill the infidel or kill the sinner, or, it's, it happened on both sides. And, you got to wonder, who's actually, causing this influence. But for your own best good, you need to come to a place of Genothi Seutan, to know yourself. I mean, really know yourself, and to discover, are you on your own side? Are you on your own side of your own best interest? And of course, up comes, remember, the minute that we are stepping into an area of enlightenment and freedom, the ego will always oppose it. So if I say, are you your own best, are you, on your own side? Are you concerned with your own best interest? Immediately the ego would say to most people, oh, that's selfish. You can't, you can't, you can't have everything. You can't have it all. If you have it all, you're going to take something from somebody else. Boing. Doo. There we go. That's the way these influences work. That's the way these entities work. That's the way they keep people stuck in bondage their whole life. And as the Apostle Paul says, it's the snare of the devil that keeps them opposing themselves. Just think of it. Abraham Hicks has a really good analogy. And it is, well, if you're healthy and if you're enjoying good health and, you've had good health your whole life, are you going to say, well, I've been enjoying good health for such a long time. I'm going to be sick for a couple of years so somebody else can have good health. No, obviously there is that's not how it works. And it's the same way with wealth and prosperity. When you become wealthy and you become prosperous, you aren't taking it from anybody else. There is an overwhelming abundance and wealth for everybody. There is no lack in our universe whatsoever. And you know that because it is constantly expanding. And it is constantly expanding to meet our own personal desires. And so any influences that creates the haves and the have-nots is a parasite, because there is plenty of resources. There is enough abundance for everybody to have abundance and experience abundance. It is only the influence of parasitic entities, whether they are human or humanoid or whatever manifestation they are showing themselves as right now, or not showing themselves, but however they manifest, they are always going to be against humanity, never for humanity. And one of the best things you can do for yourself is to rid yourself of their influence. Be on your own side first. Because if you take care of yourself and you're healthy and you're wealthy, then you truly can help others, and you can really help others. You can't it's not just moving from side to side, and instead of being on the side of who knows who, well, I'm on this side because they this, or I like this team and everybody else is bad or negative or not intelligent, or I'm this political party or that political party. I'm sure you can see the influence, and it's very, very clear to you. So Genothi Seuton, love, peace, blessing. Get on your own side and fully support your own side. Love, peace, blessing, shalom, and every form of goodness unto you and your family. Genothi Seuton, namaste.